May I have a word with you? Melissa, you have been lying to me. You never said a word about your father's educational background, did you? I don't like to get along with undereducated relatives. Well, I cannot accept it. He didn't go to university, right? You are about to disappoint me. Hey, why don't you say something? First of all, thank you for coming today. It was a pleasure to have you here at our new home. You don't have to thank me now. You tricked me, didn't you? No, I didn't trick you. As you know, Melissa, everyone in my family has a college degree. We're a very talented family. And not just any university, but a highly ranked university. You know that? Yes. What's with that attitude? My family has nothing to do with undereducated people. Of course, we've never had any relationship with those low-class people in our lives. And you know why? Why? Because they are useless. What? Useless? Don't say such a terrible thing. If you didn't go to university, that means you only went through compulsory education, which means you can only do the bare minimum you need to do. In other words, they have no ambition. There's no benefit in getting along with someone at that level, right? Is that so? There are people who have ambition no matter which school they graduated from. I think that's just your prejudice. You're so annoying. Of course it's true. I have always excluded people with low education from my life, on purpose. Oh, I'm feeling uncomfortable. You just give me mindless replies. You don't understand anyway, do you, what I'm talking about? You're the daughter of undereducated father, so your comprehension is poor. You're a disaster. But he and your husband seemed to hit it off and had a lot to talk about. You know what? My husband is a producer at the TV station. He can get along with anyone, no matter how low ranked. Don't take it wrong and say they hit it off. I wish you realized that. But they seemed to be enjoying their conversation earlier. They were smiling. He sure looked like he was having fun. Only your father. I think he misunderstands that he got in a higher class just because his undereducated daughter married into a well-educated family. I mean, he looked really happy. I hate it when people with low education are like this. No, that's not true. You don't know anything. Besides, did Ben know that your father didn't go to university? He didn't know. He heard about it for the first time when you came today. Oh, then he must be angry, right? No, it's nothing to be angry about. He doesn't mind about academic background. He's a person who sees through the essence of others. Huh? You think your father is worth something? Give me a break. I'm not joking. My son is so sweet, he can't say it out loud. Hey, since Ben can't say it, I'll say it for you. Break off the relationship with your father. What? Why should I do that? It's impossible to break off relationship with my father unless there's something going on. It's not that big of a deal. He's embarrassing. I can't tell anyone that my son's father-in-law didn't graduate university. Please don't say such terrible thing. What does the fact that my father didn't go to university have to do with you? Why do you assume that he's useless? Hey! What? Are you talking back to me? Seriously? I respect my father. I can't put up with it if you say terrible things about him. Oh! Then what do you respect about a person who doesn't have a college degree? He doesn't have a good educational background, so he has to work all his life, right? I don't like that kind of life. It feels empty to do manual labor, and it's a sin to be uneducated, you know? It's sad to be incompetent. My husband graduated from a decent university, so my life has been easy. It's too bad your mother has an uneducated husband. I can only say that I feel sorry for her. That's terrible. You don't have to say it like that. Anyway, I won't accept you as a wife if you don't cut him off. Please cancel the marriage with my son. I won't allow you to bring shame to my family. Why do you have to say that? What kind of trouble have I or my father caused you? That's how it works. If you want to complain, why don't you tell your father, who chose not to learn? As I said, I respect him. He has plenty of knowledge. He has nothing to be ashamed of, and no one has anything to complain about. Even though he does manual labor? He's a professional. I guess that's one way of putting it. But I've always thought there was something wrong with you. I didn't like you from the beginning. Now it makes sense. You didn't like me? Right. I didn't know why. I just got a bad vibe from you. I couldn't help but feel a hatred. No. Why do you have to say that? You made it clear today. You were raised by an undereducated father. Of course you were raised differently. No wonder you have no class. Now that the reason is clear, I feel better. Please don't say all those terrible things. I have no intention of cutting him off. Then you can't be my son's wife. No marriage. Then you don't have to accept me. And your education is the only thing you can be proud of, huh? That's what people who don't have confidence in their education always say. That. Your husband warned you about that earlier, didn't he? He told you not to show off something that happened decades ago. You weren't listening to him. He is a kind man. He must have felt sorry for you too. But I'm sure he's grieving inside. That his son, whom he raised so well, married the daughter of a family like that. I'm his wife. I know how my husband feels. My father's educational background has nothing to do with our marriage. My parents took good care of me, and so was Ben. Thanks to them, we are living happily now. Isn't that enough? No. Your family is different. Can you really say that you are happy? Then let me tell you something. Ben, he often talks about how his father is a great man. But everything he says about you is full of disappointing things. I was going to keep quiet, but... What? What do you mean by that? What did he say about me? I can't tell you, but you don't seem like the kind of parent that your kids would respect. If you want to know, then ask him directly. What's with you? You're so cocky. Tell me right now, what did he say? I can't tell you. Just tell me. Then let me ask him. Give me a minute. Parents have the right to know what their children say. Why do I have to get his permission? Why don't you just tell me now? It seems like it's okay, so let me tell you. You're always talking down to people and saying boring things. He says so quite often. What? Who are you talking about? It's about you, right? No, it's about you. And he told me more. He stopped bringing his friends home because you looked down on them and their family and laughed at them. He doesn't want his important friends to meet you. That's for the sake of my children. Ben doesn't need useless things in his life. I need to get rid of them, even if it makes my heart bleed. It's our duty as parents to choose our children's friends. But when you walk with him, you always say things like, that person didn't graduate from university, or his father went to night school but he gets carried away. How embarrassing. Right? Those are all true, so it can't be helped. What's wrong with telling the truth? I see. That's how you think. But Ben says that you're a full-time housewife who doesn't do enough housework, and you are a mother who he cannot respect. Aren't you ashamed of yourself as a housewife and a mother? You're lying. You were raised by a father like that, so your thinking ability is weak. That's why you lie like that. He would never say such a thing. You're the one lying. Well then, ask him yourself. Listen carefully with your own ears. Neither I nor Ben will break off the relationship with my father. And Ben says it doesn't matter what his educational background is. In fact, he even respects my father. Respect? What kind of nonsense are you saying? Marrying a strange woman like you made him crazy. Fine. If he is also brainwashed, he's unnecessary. What? Unnecessary? What do you mean? It means what it means. Even if you have grandchildren, don't bring them here. A child with your father's blood would be stupid. I don't want to get involved either, so don't call me again. What? I can't deal with idiots. It's ridiculous to even talk to you. I'm cutting you off, Ben, your family, everything, okay? Are you sure? I don't need useless people. Having my husband is enough for me. I'm happy with that. Besides, he's retiring next year, so he's working on his last big project. It's the one that you guys will never have a chance to do. He's planning to exceed the TV station's expectations with all his best. Don't make him think about unnecessary things. That's great. Isn't it? When you're educated, you can do that kind of job too. You can work on all kinds of projects, only if you are educated. After he finishes it, I'm going on a world trip with him by using his pension. I know he's secretly getting me a ticket. Your parents will never be able to afford it, though. Are you still speaking evil of him? Well, we'll live on our own. I'm done with you guys. Are you sure you want to cut us off? Huh? Of course. I don't care if I get rid of you guys. As long as I have my husband, I can live a comfortable life. I'm a winner, and I don't need any distractions in my life. Distractions? I'm talking about you guys. Well then, don't ever contact me again. Fiona, I saw the show your husband made. It was wonderful. My father was very impressed too. He said it was awesome. Of course. That's because he's good at what he does. Your stupid father just looked good too on TV. But he introduced him in great detail, didn't he? He said he was a professional with a skill that only a few people have, and that he's gaining worldwide attention and recognition overseas. Depends on how you say it. His skill of direction is great. Let me tell you, my father is a fine craftsman, even though he didn't go to university. Are craftsmen useless to you? That's not true, is it? He's one of the few craftsmen in the States. They are needed all over the world. They are valuable. So? You value your academic background so much, but who needs you? Who needs your educational background? Are you that valuable? How dare you talk like that? You're really cheeky. Don't you think it's a little vain to show off only your old educational background? We live in the world full of new things. Is that what you see? Shut up! You can use what you learned for life. But how can you use that knowledge when you're a stay-at-home mom? It's been decades since you graduated from university. And since you haven't had a single thing to be proud of in those decades, you're still bragging about it, aren't you? Don't you feel empty? Huh? Don't be so cocky. In the first place, we've already broken off our relationship. Who told you to text me? Don't reach me without permission. So, you're going to live on your own from now on? Huh? Alone? Have you lost your mind? I have my husband. I'm going on a world trip with him with his pension. Your parents can't receive pension anyway. He'll just have to continue working as a craftsman for the rest of his life. Well, your husband, who allowed you to be a housewife comfortably, already went on a trip. Huh? What are you talking about? Hey, you must have misunderstood something. He never said he was going on a trip with you, did he? At least, he never said that. What? What do you mean? He told me that he and my father were going to France together. What? Why? Why with such an undereducated person? The show was a huge success and he got a bonus, so they planned to go on a trip with two of them. They were really looking forward to it. They seemed to hit it off pretty well. My well-educated husband would never get along with an undereducated person. Stop talking nonsense. Are you still talking like that? They both take pride in their work. They said something like, "We were meant to have our jobs." It's natural that they get along. There's no way he's going on a trip with your father. He's supposed to go with me. But I drove them to the airport this morning. What else is there to do at the airport? What? No, you're kidding, right? He really went on a trip without a word to me? Oh, I have a message for you from your husband. What is it? I already talked to a lawyer to get divorced, so you'll receive a paper soon. Make sure to fill it out. I don't want to see your face anymore. What? What do you mean? He said that he can't face someone who doesn't even take care of the house every day after he retires. In other words, you are useless and unnecessary. I can't think of anything else. No. Then what am I supposed to do? Hey, Melissa, what do you think? I don't know. You've said all those things to me. I don't need you either. Besides my father, myself, Ben, and the grandchildren that may be born in the future, it was you who said you would cut off all of us, wasn't it? Then I take it back. No, you don't have to. I have no intention of getting along with an idiot who can only show off educational background too. I'm sick of you. My father and father-in-law came back from their trip in a good mood and hit it off. For some reason, Fiona stayed at home the whole time. She tried her best, but her husband kicked her out and divorced her. She was unable to do anything on her own and asked me for help. I smiled kindly and politely declined her request. A few months later, she heard that we were going to have a baby, so she made a very insistent request to see me after the baby was born. But I politely declined that request too. She deserved it. Her academic background, of which she was so proud, was no use. On the other hand, my father's job was booked up for the next few years because he was featured in a TV program. My husband, who strongly admired him, somehow became his apprentice, and they seem to be having fun with my father-in-law, who comes to check on us from time to time. I told my father-in-law that I was really happy to have met the right person, and he said he's so happy to have divorced the worst wife, and laughed jokingly with a big smile on his face.
Hello, Sally. Why do you still refuse to listen to me? I heard that you're going on a business trip again today. You've been married for 13 years, and you're still stubborn that you don't want to dedicate yourself to do the house chores more often. It seems you've never learned how to be a good wife. Oh, not again. Can you please stop texting me just to let me know about how bad I am as a wife every lunch break at work? It's supposed to be my break time, but I can't take a proper rest because I end up having to deal with you, Helena. Especially on a busy day like today when I'm on a business trip. We live together so we can talk to each other after I get home. I really don't want to be bothered since I'm busy with my work this afternoon. That's why I'm telling you to get off your ass and quit your job. It's not like you're making much money anyway. Even if you quit, your workplace will still be running without a hitch. It's so disrespectful of you to say you're busy. Besides, you have something more important to be done. I think the reason you're not pregnant very often is because you're working. You are already in your 30s, and you're not getting any younger. You need to have a baby soon. That's why I want you to stop working. I understand what you're saying, but if I stop working, we won't be able to make a decent living. I don't think it's the right time for me to have a baby, and it isn't easy to just quit my job. I will not have a child until I have enough money saved up. You really are a stubborn woman. Are you telling me that you can't live on my son's earnings alone? That's right. We've talked about this over and over again, didn't we? It's unbelievable. Oh my God. I really don't know why an impudent woman like you came to marry my son. As for me, I was so upset at how modest the amount of the salary was when my husband showed me his payslip. It's really annoying for me to talk about the same thing every day during my lunch break. Huh? My lunch break will finish soon, so please excuse me.
Hey, Sally, it seems that you said something terrible to my mother.
Something terrible?
Like how you don't want to deal with my mom, so you don't call her to text you during your lunch break at work? I heard that you sneered at her for defending me. You said that it's stressful for you to deal with her and so on. She was sad and hurt. She's your mother too, even though both of you are not blood related. You should take a better care of her and respect her more.
Give me a break. I guess that's what everyone will say in this case.
What do you mean?
Your mom is blaming me for everything, and she's talking bad about me in a way that suits her. I said those things to your mom for a good reason, and I wasn't treating her badly. I'm the one who's upset because of what your mom told me.
What? How dare you said that to my mom? She isn't guilty.
Okay, I got it. That's enough. I've been coping with this for about 13 years.
I don't understand what you're trying to tell me.
Never mind about that. I'm at a hotel on a business trip, and I'm just reconfirming the documents I need to submit tomorrow. I need to end this conversation.
Hey, I haven't finished talking with you yet.
Sally, I heard you're on a business trip again today. Yes, I am. You'll be back the day after tomorrow, right? Yes, I will. Is there any possibility of a change of plans? For example, you wouldn't come back a day early or something like that. I can't say. It depends on the situation. Is there a problem with that? Nothing, just checking. I see. Okay, then. Ethan, what does this mean?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I just came back from a business trip, and when I arrived at our house, it seems that all of the furniture and dishes are gone, leaving only my stuff in the house. And there are divorce papers on the living room floor. Could you tell me why?
It's exactly just like what you saw. I'm divorcing you. After talking it over with Mom, we decided to start living separately with you, so we moved out.
Why did you do this today? Did you plan this with your mom? You know that today is our 13th wedding anniversary, don't you? I came home as early as I could to prepare the feast for our anniversary tonight.
Really? Too bad then. I'm sorry for you that you ended up getting divorced on your wedding anniversary.
I know that's not an answer, but I don't care anymore. So are you saying that your mom agrees with the separation and divorce?
That's what I meant.
Understood. But you'll still have to fulfill the necessary responsibilities that come with a divorce.
Responsibilities? Oh, you mean the divorce papers? I don't know why you're in such a hurry, but I've filled my part in the divorce papers. All you have to do is to fill your part and file them. That's it. I'm fulfilling my last responsibility as your husband by doing that. Before you all get dressed up and accuse someone, you might want to check it out. Maybe you were so shocked by the divorce that you couldn't see what was going on in front of you. I guess you're too excited to come home on our anniversary day, weren't you?
Let me ask you something.
What?
What are you going to do with your living expenses from now on?
Excuse me?
Your mom doesn't work, right? You're going to support her with your earnings. What do you think about that? Did you think carefully about that before you decided to divorce me?
Of course. Mom and I have my father's inheritance, so it doesn't matter at all, even if you're not here.
I see. Are you sure you want to file for divorce?
Yes, I'm sure. Just file those papers as soon as possible.
I'll think about it. Sally, as expected, you're home already, right? Ethan and I have nothing to deal with you anymore. The two of you will be divorced. Looks like now is your turn. What do you mean? I got a message from Ethan telling me about the divorce and moving out. I've heard most of what he said, so I'm done. Oh, I didn't know about that. Then there's only one thing I can say. I want to have a grandchild as soon as possible. I think the best thing for me to do is to ask you to step aside and take a new bride in. A new bride? Didn't Ethan tell you about that? Molly is pregnant with his child, and he wants to be married before the baby is born. No, I haven't heard about that at all. Who is Molly? She's a fine woman compared to you, who never fulfills your duties as a wife. I'm sure she'll make a wonderful wife. Since you are so unreliable as a wife, I have already told Ethan to go out with a better woman. So she's the one Ethan was having an affair with. By the way, I'd like to ask you something. Go on. What are you going to do with your living expenses? Huh? If Ethan divorces me, it means you also can no longer rely on my earnings. I don't know if Molly, whose name you just mentioned, is working. She's pregnant, so I made her leave her job. With that, she can have more time with her family. Okay then, so the three of you will be living on Ethan's earnings alone. Yes, that's right. Are you sure you can handle it? You're so rude. Of course we will be fine. After all, Ethan's monthly income is twice of yours. I can live on that without any problems at all. I beg your pardon? Twice of my income? Ethan doesn't make that much money. You're kidding me! The paycheck you showed me before was about $3,000, right? I heard that Ethan earns twice of that, so that would mean he earns $6,000 a month. That's the opposite. The opposite? I'm the one who earns twice. Seriously? I thought you won't believe me, so I decided to show you the payslip. But I didn't realize you had such a big misunderstanding about that. What do you mean? So are you saying that you earn $6,000 per month? That's a lie, because your statement was definitely $3,000 take-home pay. I saw it with my own eyes. You're wrong. Let me put it in simple terms. You are correct that my take-home pay is $3,000 per month, but Ethan earns about half of that. That means $1,500 a month. Stop telling me lies! You didn't even notice about that, even though we're living under the same roof? Your son has changed his job multiple times. In 13 years since we got married, he has changed his job for 7 times. 7 times? I didn't notice that at all. The longest he's lasted is a little over 3 years. He usually leaves after 1 or 2 years. After changing jobs, he needs to start from scratch again. There's no way he's going to get a raise by doing that. That's why you and him were living on my salary. Why didn't you tell me earlier about that? Ethan said he would tell you himself, so I kept out of the matter. I didn't expect him lying to you, trying to look good. Wait a minute. If that's true, how could Ethan divorce you, the breadwinner? No matter how much Molly is important to him, I don't think he would do that. According to his message earlier, he said that both of you will be fine with the inheritance left by his dad. No kidding! There's no such thing from the beginning. I'm sure that's true. Your husband was a man of lavish spending. Anyway, why don't you and your son talk about it face to face once? Apparently, you and Ethan overestimate and depend on each other too much that you are catastrophically lacking in the crucial discussion.
Hey Sally, I'll give you a chance.
What? Did you have a discussion with your mom?
Yes, I did. I'm going to tell you the result now. Listen to me carefully.
No, I don't want to.
I'll tell you that the only way you don't have to get a divorce from me is to give everything you earn to me and Mom. In other words, Mom and I will be in charge of the household finances from now on. I'll give you $100 as a monthly allowance and you'll deal with that. If you agree to these terms, we won't get divorced, and I'll tell you where we're moving.
I see.
If you want to be a family with me in the future, you're going to have to put up with me treating you like an ATM. The truth is, I want to divorce you, but my kind-hearted mother said that she wants to save you. Accept it gratefully, respect us from now on, and work hard and diligently as a wife.
I can't, because I'm going to live in the United Kingdom.
No way! United Kingdom?
A while ago, the company approached me about an overseas assignment, or at least hinted at it, and I was wondering about that. But you and your mom said that you were moving out and you want to divorce me. That's what made me decide to take the plunge. I guess I should thank you guys for giving me the push. I need to improve my career, right?
Huh?
So, I'm getting a divorce and I'm accepting the offer of an overseas assignment.
What?
They asked me if I was willing to take a permanent assignment and live there, so I said yes to them today. I'll come back to the US only for vacation or stuff like that.
No way! The divorce papers are already filed.
Yeah, I filed those this morning before work to sort things out. You told me to file them as soon as possible, so I did. I did as you wanted and got them out right away. Is there a problem?
There's nothing but problems. I've been told that I won't get my father's inheritance, which I was counting on. How am I supposed to make a living since my mom doesn't work?
Well, you better think about that by yourself and solve it. Anyway, I'm going to charge you alimony for your infidelity.
Alimony? Why?
I'm sorry. I know you thought you were hiding it from me, but I was fully aware of it and have been gathering evidence since a while ago. And your mom talked about Molly, the woman you're having an affair with, on WhatsApp yesterday. I pretended not to know and asked her. She was bragging about it.
What?
I was laughing so hard, thinking that you and your mom should work together a little better. I've already asked my lawyer to take care of everything else. We're strangers now.
Sally, wait!
Hey, Sally, we got a content certified mail. How do you know where we're moving to? That house is an empty house managed by your husband's brother, right? Huh? He complained to me that Ethan and you are living there without permission. What? The divorce has already been finalized, so I'm not related to you and Ethan anymore. But your husband's brother was very angry, so I told him about what had happened. He agreed to cooperate with me until the matter is settled. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the content certified mail you received. Let me put it simply. I'm going to demand compensation for infidelity, so Ethan needs to pay me in one lump sum. That's what it says. Alimony? Why does my son have to pay alimony? Ethan cheated on me, and I have the right to demand it. By the way, Molly has already paid it. What? Ethan told her that he has his father's inheritance that never existed. In fact, she lied about the pregnancy, said she'd leave him if he didn't give her money, and went back to the countryside. She's a fast runner, isn't she? Her pregnancy was a lie? Then what about my grandchildren? You won't see any of them anywhere at the moment. What? By the way, Sally, you can get back together with Ethan. I don't want to. I'm going to the United Kingdom. United Kingdom? Ethan should know about this, but it seems that we're not exchanging enough information again. Or are you so overconfident in your son that you don't want to embarrass him whom you trust? How dare you talk to me that way? Just ask Ethan about the details, okay? Hold on a second, Sally. Goodbye. So that's how it is. Now, I'm moving to the head office to prepare for an overseas assignment, and I'm planning to go to the United Kingdom in 6 months. When I told my parents who live in the countryside, they said that they'll sell the family house and go there with me. My company has arranged the company housing for us, and we are currently living there temporarily with my parents. The other day, my ex-husband and ex-mother-in-law, after paying alimony, stormed into my parents' house, which had already been sold. It seems that they came to ask me to pay back the alimony because they could no longer live on their debts. They destroyed the yard, broke a window, and broke in, and the police were called. As a result, the current owner, a real estate agent, charged them with a lot of money and ended up increasing the amount they need to pay. They are now both insulated from all relatives and continue to work day and night just to pay off their debts.
Heather, is this a good time for you? I have something important to tell you. Please listen to me carefully.
What's wrong, honey?
I know it's not really something I should be saying on a message like this, but...
Just tell me now, okay? I need to know.
I'm sorry, but I want a divorce.
What? Why?
Actually, I'm going to be working for a subsidiary company for the rest of the year. I don't think I can go back there.
Oh, I see.
I was supposed to be able to come back at the end of the year, but due to some personal issues, it's been decided that I'm going to stay here until retirement.
I see. But why does that mean we're getting a divorce?
Because you're a full-time employee with an important position. Also, Mary just got a job at the company she wanted to work for, and Jerry doesn't want to quit from the high school he worked so hard to get into, right? I can't ask all of you to come here since you all have your own futures there. I think it's best for everyone's happiness to stay where they are. That's why the best solution is for us to get divorced, so that we can stop worrying about each other.
I guess you're right. Mary and Jerry are both grown up now. I'm sure they'll be fine without their father.
Of course, if you have any problems, I'm always here for you.
Okay, let's have a divorce.
Thanks for your understanding. I'm glad that we managed to get an amicable divorce. You're such a good wife, Heather, and I'm proud to be your husband. Thanks to you that I can focus on my work with peace of mind.
You really think so?
Yeah, I really do.
I mean, you're not saying that I'm a good wife, but you're saying that I'm just a convenient wife, aren't you?
Huh?
I rather consider myself a reasonable person. I'm the type of person who sassily throws away trash I don't need. Besides, it's not your job that you're devoted to. It's your affair, isn't it?
Of course not. What are you talking about? Huh?
I already know that you had an affair with a young woman while you were working alone.
What? How come?
When Mary was on a company leisure trip, she was staying at the same hotel as you guys. Moreover, I heard that you didn't notice Mary at all when you walked past her in the hallway.
Oh, I didn't notice that she was there.
When she came home, she reported in tears that her father had found himself a young woman. Mary said that you were so infatuated with the young woman that you didn't even recognize your own daughter. Shame on you, Gordon.
No, that's a misunderstanding. Mary must have seen me together with my co-worker. She is a grown-up now, but she's still young, so I think she must have misunderstood that.
No need for excuses. After receiving that report, I hired a detective to investigate. The young woman is a daughter of the branch manager who is your boss, right? Her name is Miranda. You incurred the branch manager's wrath, so you were fired for various reasons and became unemployed. Now, you're living with Miranda, who was disowned by her parents, and you're her pimp.
I see. You already know that much. Then it can't be helped. That's right. I was having an affair.
So you finally admit it. Listen, here's the deal. I'll agree to a divorce, but I'm also going to charge you exactly what you owe me in alimony.
Wait a minute.
What?
If you've done an investigation on us, you'd know that we don't have enough money to pay for the alimony.
So what?
So, since we're at this point, I'm gonna go easy on you. Why don't you pay for my alimony?
Excuse me? Do you even know what alimony means?
I know. You're trying to get me to pay you alimony because I'm bad, right?
Then why are you saying those words? There's no way, anywhere in the world, that a victim would pay alimony to a perpetrator.
Actually, Miranda's pregnant and apparently it's twins. I'm sure it's going to cost me a lot of money.
So you're asking me for alimony?
Why not? You've always earned more money than me, and I'd really like to ask you to pay for the child's upbringing. Just like Mary and Jerry, the unborn child is my precious child. I want to raise them the same way.
Are you out of your mind?
Huh?
People say having an affair makes you crazy, and looks like it's really true.
Hey, you can't talk that way to me no matter how much you want to.
All you care about is your unborn child, but we have Mary and Jerry too. Mary witnessed her father's infidelity and she's mentally damaged. Jerry is so angry that he said he's going to do everything he can to get rid of you. Not only they are fine without their father, but everyone is working together to get rid of you.
So tell them this. Even though I'm away from them, I'll always think of you all. They will always be my beautiful daughter and son.
Message from Jerry. He said that he doesn't want a father who is stupid and you must pay for the alimony and get the hell out of our life. Mary agrees with that too.
What? Are both of them there? Mary! Jerry, let's talk!
Jerry says not to ever call yourself his father again since you are an adulterer. Mary is nodding at his words. Well, that's the way it is. I'm going to follow the children's opinion and file for alimony against you.
Wait a minute. I've got a life over here.
I don't give a shit. I've hired a lawyer, so I'll have him visit you there in the near future.
Heather, wait! Let me talk to you for a minute. I've told you that I don't have any money.
Please go into debt or whatever you have to do and pay for your alimony.
I'm going to have twins, and you want me to borrow money?
Why don't you turn your stupid brain around and think of a better solution then? I'm gonna block you from now on. Goodbye, son of a bitch. After this, my ex-husband was so desperate to stop the divorce that it took him 3 months to finally file it. He needs to pay for the alimony in a lump sum, although he couldn't get much, so he had no choice but to borrow money. I was told that my earnings would be sufficient to pay for Jerry's upbringing. I do not receive any child support money for Jerry because he said that he would rather earn it himself than use the money received from an idiot adulterer. However, my ex-husband seems to be a pimp even now that their child is born. He has been asking me for child support by letter, and for some reason, he even asked me to get back together with him. He still seems to be the idiot he was. Naturally, I've been ignoring him, but I'm considering moving out and banning him from seeing me.